Hey everybody, it's Mitch, and welcome to my next video. Today we have got another Dungeons & Dragons Prestige class description. And today we have got the Skypledged. Boom. There we go. So, the Skypledged. What is the Skypledged? Well, it's a very interesting class. What's really cool, so let's start off with what it takes to get in. So first you have to be a Raptoran. So a little bit of a restriction there. That is out of the races of the wild where this actually comes from. But yeah, not a huge deal. So you get that ability to. It also requires the ability to cast Summon Monster 4 or Summon Nature's Ally 4, which are both 4th level spells, which means you're going to need to be either a druid or a cleric, and you're going to need to be 7th level, I believe. Yeah, 7th level. You also need the Flight Extraordinary ability, which as a Raptoran by 7th level, you're going to have. You only got to be 5th level to get that. So, sweet. Yeah, that last flight ability is kind of weird that they require that. It's probably to help mitigate weird ways of getting into the class. So yeah, typically you will require. Typically that one will just be covered automatically if you go the normal route. So anyways, what do they get? Well, first off, they get spells. They advance every single level in their spell class, so that's really cool. So in Druid or Cleric, every level of Skypledged will advance your spell casting. So that's really awesome. They have an average base attack bonus, which is the same that you'll get with either Druid or Cleric. So that's great. Only a D6 hit dice, so you're going to take a little bit of a hit on that because both Druids and Clerics do get a D8. So a little less health, but it should be made up for with some of this other stuff. You have a bad fortitude, but both a good reflex and will save. And in addition to that, you also get skills 4+ int, decent list of stuff, so not too bad. Yeah, and they also get a bunch of cool special stuff, and that's where they get interesting. The first one's not a good thing, but the rest of it is. The first one is Skypledge, which basically it means you are not able to use fire, earth, or water type spells. So any spell that has those in the descriptor, you're basically vowing to not use. You can still do it, but you lose like all your class features. So you kind of don't want to do that. Next up, you have the Divine Spell Pool. Now that's actually really interesting. What it lets you do is it lets you leave a couple of spells not prepared. You can only do so many per day, but you leave a few that just no spell. You just don't prepare a couple of your slots, and then what you can do as a full round action, you can actually just put any spell off the Druid or Cleric spell list, and that's for both. Druid or Cleric spell list, and that's for both, regardless of which way you went in. So it gives you access to a lot more spells, which is really nice. And it also sort of spontaneous, although it does take a full round action, which does provoke attacks of opportunity. So that's a bit of an issue. Not great for combat your action pool. Not great on that regard, but still pretty good overall, especially if you have some idea of what spells you're going to want ahead of time. And if not, you can still do it in combat. If there's a spell you really want that could be really useful, you can take a turn just to get that spell. You're still going to have to take you're still going to have to use the actual action to cast the spell. So it's going to take like a turn and a half to get these spells out. But you get spells that you're not normally going to be able to get, and on top of that, there's also the whole. It's sort of a spontaneous thing. You can basically get access to any spell that you didn't prepare. So if there's something that your DM throws a curveball at you, you can kind of react to that. It's just going to take you time, which is valuable, but that's definitely not a bad thing. Let's see. It's first you can only get first through third level spells, but then eventually you can get second through 4th through 6th, and then 7th through 9th as you get higher level, which should match up pretty close to the spells you're actually able to cast by that point anyways. So it shouldn't be a huge deal. You're going to be a little behind for sure, but not terribly behind. Maybe a few levels. There's also, but when you do this, you're taking it from a spell pool like that just all Skypledged have, and when you do that, you incur a debt. So then you have to repay that debt within a few days. It's the number of days actually is equal to your Skypledged level. So at first level, you have 1 day. So what you're going to need to do is the next day, or if you can go longer because you're higher level, within the next little while, you're going to have to give up some of your spell slots in order to repay the debt that you've incurred. Which, if you're having a lot of downtime in your campaigns, not so bad. Just wait till a day that you have downtime and then just pay off all your debt. So that works. Because on downtime days, you don't need those spell slots anyways. So yeah, not too bad. Let's see, what else do they get? They get this thing called Beckon Breeze, Beckon Wind, and then Beckon Gale, which is very interesting. What it does is it'll allow you to change the wind's direction as well as the strength. At first, you can only affect it one step in either direction. So you can make the wind a little stronger or a little bit weaker, but only a little bit. And that's with Beckon Breeze. Then when you get Beckon Wind, you can go up to 2 steps, and then when you get Beckon Gale, you can actually go up to 4 steps. So, and it does take time. Like, you change the wind direction. It's not like instant. It takes 2d4 rounds or something like that, and it lasts for a while. It's only in a 100-foot radius of where you activate it to, which is kind of small, but it's an interesting ability. Not really their best. It's not really what you're going into this for. Let's see. You get instant supplication. Basically, you can at 3rd level beg the wind gods to give somebody slow fall. Generally not yourself, because you can fly, but if you can't, if for some reason you're not able to fly, then you can use it on yourself, but generally you do it to an ally who can't save themselves. So useful if you got if your DM throws some sort of falling trap at you, kind of useful. Or if like an enemy tries picking up one of your allies and dropping them, again useful. Let's see. Then you get this servant, which is really cool. So basically, it's just a wind elemental that has 12 HD. It's a large wind elemental with 12 HD. Generally, they have less than that, but yours will have 12 HD, so you get a little bit stronger one. Pretty good abilities all in all. Let's see. Then you also get Assumptive Supplication, which basically lets you turn into a huge air elemental as if using wild shape like a druid. So that's kind of cool. Hard to say whether this one's better for a cleric or a druid, to be honest. Might be better for cleric, to go the cleric route, just because a lot of these abilities are abilities that you already get as a druid. So might be better to go the cleric route with this. And then you also get Cyclonic Doom, which basically lets you put this giant cyclone around yourself. So all the adjacent squares, there's this big gale force wind that's just doing massive damage to anyone that's there. They take, 15d6 points of bludgeoning damage just for being near you. There's no save against that either, but there is a save if they survive for whether it will, if you're on the ground, knock them prone, or if you're in the air, knock them back. 2d6 times 10 feet, which pretty cool. Yeah, so definitely got some really cool features. One of the better ones out there in terms of classes. Yeah, it's actually really interesting. So if you are, the biggest downside is you do have to be a Raptoran. So if you're not playing a Raptoran, this class is not available to you. But if you are, and you do want to play a Raptoran spellcaster, which is a little unusual. Most people who go Raptoran will go be some sort of archer, because it's just more advantageous that way, but it is certainly useful as a spellcaster. So yeah, anyways, that's really all I have to say about that. So if you like the video, please give me a like. Also, if you would like, you can please subscribe to the channel. We've got that up there in the corner there. If you want to check out some more of my videos, I got a couple down there below. Yeah, And please share the video. That really helps. Yeah, and feel free to comment down below. Anyways, I'm Mitch. I'll be seeing you.